Today we get a story of these emo kids who think that they're super hard, super cool, super tough, and then they get completely owned, and it's hilarious. You'll enjoy it. Subscribe if you like stories, drop a like, and let's call the subscriber who sent in today's story, let's call him Gavin. So this whole story, this like 2-week long epic saga basically, all started one day when Gavin was in the hallways of his school and he was just going to his locker because he needed to go grab his backpack because it was time for the first class of the day. So Gavin is walking to his locker, and to be fair, right, he does say that he's not really paying attention, he's kind of just thinking about other things, and he bumps into this kid by accident. And this kid is dressed in like all black, has like super long black dyed hair, has like black mascara, has some like band t-shirt that they definitely don't know more than one song, and the one song is the most played song. You know how it is. It basically, like, he bumps into this random emo kid, and by the way, if this is your style, I don't really care. Like, you're totally chill in my book. As long as you don't do what these emo kids do in this video or this story, then you're totally cool in my book. But anyways, right, the emo kid who he bumped into is like, bro, you gotta be watching where you're going. And Gavin's like, all right, my fault. Like, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. That's on me. And the emo kid says, that's not enough of an apology. I need you to bow down. And Gavin's like, dude, I'm not bowing down to you. Are you crazy? And the emo kid's like, did you just call me crazy? Did you? And Gavin's like, well, yeah, like, I'm so sorry for bumping into you. Like, sure, this is kind of on me, but I'm not going to bow down to you to try and get your apology. And he's like, you don't know what you just did. And he like does a Sonic dash away. Like, you know how like the Sonic dash where you like throw both your arms back and like zoom away? And, Gavin honestly didn't think anything of it. He was like, all right, like, I've never seen this kid before, but I definitely, will probably try not to talk to him ever again because he's pretty weird. But yeah, Gavin didn't think anything of it, but let me just say that quite a bit happened after that point. So fast forward a couple days, and Gavin and his friend, or his friends after school, they went to this kind of like local ice cream place where they would go like maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. They sat down after school, got some ice cream, and just kind of like talked about the day, talked about whatever that they were interested in. I don't really know. But anyways, they were sitting in a booth, and, Gavin was actually recounting the story of the random emo kid that he bumped into because, like, he hadn't seen his friends in like a week or two, as these friends were not school friends. They were outside of school friends. They went to other places, but they were all close enough to congregate in the same ice cream place. And sure enough, they were like, oh, that dude, that's absolutely crazy. And as Gavin was like finishing up that story, he hears the doorbell open because there's like a bell in the door, and in walks 3 emo kids. However, they're not the emo kid that Gavin bumped into. So Gavin doesn't think anything of it. He's like, oh, speak of the devil. And like the other guys that Gavin is with, Gavin's friends, they turn around and they're like, dude, is one of those emo guys like, or one of those guys like the guy that you bumped into? And Gavin's like, no, that, like, I just thought it was funny that a bunch of like, people who dressed like the guy who I bumped into like walked in as I was telling the story, but no, that's not the guy, or at least I'm pretty sure it's not, unless he like totally revamped his style and like looks totally different because of makeup or something, but he was pretty sure it wasn't. But weirdly enough, right, the emo kids walk right by like the front desk, right, or the place where you order the ice cream. And they weren't sitting at any of the open tables, as it was kind of like you'd seat yourself. They were walking right towards Gavin and his friends. So Gavin's like, all right, wait, hold up. These kids seem to be walking towards us. Do you guys know any of them? And Gavin's friends once again turn around and look closer, and they're just thinking to themselves, no. So they tell Gavin, like, no, we don't know these guys. And Gavin's like, well, it looks like we're about to know them. And sure enough, the 3 emo kids walk up and they're like, are you like the guy who bumped into one of our brothers yesterday? And Gavin is just looking at them like, huh? And Gavin was like, what are you talking about, dude? And he's like, yeah, no, this is definitely the one. One of the emo kids turns to the other guy and says that. And they're like, all right, bro, you were definitely the guy who bumped into brother, I don't know, Snake Lord. Did they get dude, it was some like really weird name, some kind of like derpy name or something. They were like, yeah, this is the guy who bumped into brother Snake Lord a couple days ago. And then they all turn to Gavin and they're like, this is your final warning. This is emo squad turf. And Gavin, probably should have done this. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, but he bursts out laughing. He was like, yo, it's whose turf, dude? What? And they're like, this is not a laughing matter. This is the second offense against Emo Squad. He's like, Emo what? LOL. And at this point, right, Gavin, he just can't stop laughing. He's like, so you're telling me that the guy I bumped into, his name is Lord Snake Lord. What? Brother Snake Lord, and that you guys are part of Emo Squad? And they're like, it's not a laughing matter. Stop laughing. Stop it. Nah. Real quick before I forget, because I keep on forgetting and it's annoying me, right? Comment emo down below if you made it this far into the video. It's the secret word, and I try my best to heart as many comments to say that as a way to say thank you. And by the way, if you want to support the channel and help me get to 500K a little bit faster, binge watch videos. There's playlists in the description. I literally appreciate that so much. Anyways, back to the story. And Gavin's like, you can't be serious, dude. And the emo kids are like, this is your last warning. Apologize to us on your knees. Apologize to us while bowing down, or you will suffer the consequences. You will face the wrath of Emo Squad. And Gavin's like, I'll face the wrath of what? Emo Squad? LOL. So anyways, right, the emo kids are like, fine, you've sealed your fate. And the three of them walk out. And at this point, right, Gavin's friends also kind of join him and like laughing at this. They weren't laughing at the time because they were holding it in much better than Gavin was. But Gavin really at this point just did not care. Fast forward to the next day though. Goes to school, goes to his locker as always, is just trying to pick up his backpack. And, he sees that his locker has been opened. And he's like, okay, this is a little weird. And he opens up his locker and he sees a piece of paper. And he's like, all right, this piece of paper definitely was not here before. It looks like it's, intentionally in here. It was like folded up and it was like, it would look like a note. So he picks it up and he opens it up. And the letter is like written in red pen to be all spooky and mysterious. And it says, you have disrespected Emo Squad for the last time. You shall now suffer the consequences. And it was signed Emo Nation. And Gavin's like, Emo Nation? But nothing happens for the rest of the day. So Gavin was like pretty convinced that, this was kind of a big bluff and that nothing actually would happen. But anyways, right, the next day rolls around and Gavin has kind of completely forgotten about it. And it's recess, and he's just chilling with his friends. He's actually on the swings. I used to love the swings when, I used to go out to recess back in the day. The swings, me and the boys would always be on those. It was fire. But anyways, though, right, he was just kind of chilling on the swings, and he sees this squad of 6 emo kids, or at least they're dressed up like emo kids. They walk up to him. And Gavin's thinking to himself, oh my god, it's the Supreme Lord Emo Nation squad game forever, #bruh. Like, it is, oh no, guys, they're coming. And they walk up to him, and they're like, so, how's it feeling? And Gavin's like, bro, what? And they're like, you're totally scared right now. I can see through you. And Gavin's like, scared of what? The squad fam of Emo Nation? They're like, no, the Brotherhood. Don't disrespect the Brotherhood. And Gavin's like, whatever, lol. And then one of the emo kids says, so, are you ready for the attack? The great emo versus nerd war? And look, Gavin's just like, wait, am I the nerd in this situation? They're like, yes, nerd. And he's like, bro, okay, I'm ready for the great battle. Is it going to be greater than World War I, II, and III combined? Is this going to be like D-Day, but 1,000 times bigger and more epic and more explosions? And the emo kids, unironically, were like, yes! Are you scared? Gavin's like, no, lol. And they're just like, you should be. And they all kind of run away, and they all like Sonic dash away. Apparently, like, the sign of the emo kids was like Sonic dashing away, which, like, if you're trying to be intimidating, I don't know if Sonic dashing away is gonna really, like, I don't know, man. You know what? I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a big old hater. Who knows, dude? Anyways, though, skip forward to Saturday, so 2 days later, nothing happens in the next 2 days. But sure enough, right, Gavin and his friends, they kind of congregate, and they're gonna go hang out at the park for that day. It was a really nice day out. I don't know, they were just trying to chill outside. But the thing is, right, as Gavin was walking and they were kind of like collecting all the guys or whatever, Gavin was noticing that, there was this emo kid who was walking on the other side of the sidewalk. And he was like, okay, well, this is a little bit weird. And he notices that the emo kid is like looking at them and like looking away. His eyes are like darting back and forth. And then he picks out a phone and is like whispering into the phone. And Gavin is like, hey, because he told his friends about what's been happening the last couple of days. He's like, by the way, we might be having some unexpected fun at the park or whatever is about to happen. And he kind of like points to the emo kid. And the emo kid is like runs away quickly. And so Gavin and his friends, they're walking to the park and they just notice like random people dressed in all emo like randomly appear around them and kind of like look at them talking to phones. And Gavin's like, by the way, they said that they were going to have like an epic battle or something. So I guess prepare yourselves. So Gavin and his friends make it to the park and they're just walking in when they see like from the trees, from the bushes, 10 emo kids, 10, 11, 12, they all charge out and they're like, this is the final battle. This will go down in the history books. And Gavin notices that they all have Nerf guns. And he's just like, oh my God, no shot. And yeah, so they all walk out with these Nerf guns and they're like, what are your final words? And Gavin turns to his friends. He's like, all right, so my fault. I realized that they were weird and cringe, but this is like a whole new level. So my bad. We're going to have a very weird day today. And they're like, if those are the last words you've chosen, then so be it. And then they start shooting the Nerf guns at him and like they just kind of like bounce off of him. But Gavin notices that all the Nerf bullets were like colored black with like a black Sharpie just to be even more edgy and emo and like, oh my God, society or whatever, right? And Gavin's like, oh no, these foam like pellets are slightly annoying. No, but like he's just like, guys, can you stop? This is kind of annoying. And they're like, I know that you would crumble. I know that you would fail. No mercy. And they just come in. They're still like shooting these like little foam black bullets or whatever. And he's just like, guys, please, this is getting annoying. I'm just trying to chill at the park with my friends. And they're like, you shouldn't have disrespected Emo Squad then. And he's like, Emo Squad. They're like, no, stop living. And sure enough, right, they just keep shooting their Nerf guns until they run out of bullets. And then they're like, looks like we won this battle. And Gavin's just literally standing there with a pile of like poorly drawn Nerf bullets, right? And he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, you got so scared. And Gavin's like, dude, what are you talking about? And they're like, we won this. And then they all like get up, like they got all their Nerf guns together and they're running away. And they're like, and Gavin could hear them yell, yeah, we just won. Let's report back to Emo Squad. Gavin's like, okay. Okay, man, like, this is really getting annoying, but I guess you won. Let's hope this is the end of it. But unfortunately, it was not the end of it. Yeah, no, these kids are crazy, bro. So things start to get really, really weird one day, like a couple days later, when Gavin's just chilling in his room, he's on his phone, and he's actually on Instagram, he's just liking people's photos or whatever, just kind of like chilling out, and he gets a follow request from an account called emo_nation, like in a bunch of letters or whatever. I'm not going to give you the exact username as I wasn't even given the exact username. And apparently the account's deleted now or whatever. So like, unfortunately we can't go look at the account ourselves and cringe and laugh or whatever. But sure enough, right, the account DMs him and this is where things actually get kind of weird. They DM him a video. And Gavin looks at the video, and the video is of Gavin sitting on his phone, liking photos on Instagram. So Gavin immediately gets up, he goes out, and he sees his window is open. There's no, his shades are not drawn. He runs out, like, looks at his window, and, his yard is empty. But sure enough, like maybe a couple minutes ago or a couple 20 minutes ago or whatever, maybe even like 30 seconds ago, there was one of the emo kids who was recording him from his backyard looking into his window. At this point, right, Gavin's like, all right, that's weird. I'm starting to get weirded out. I know these kids are just cringe and lame and all they're going to do is like cast spells on me and like say society hates us. But still, I really don't like this invasion of privacy. So Gavin's thinking to himself, all right, so I'm just going to screw over all these kids like for messing with me at this point, and I know for a fact how I'm going to do it. So Gavin basically has a plan where he wants to get them to admit in writing who's doing this and just to like admit it so then he can report it to the principals and get them to stop doing anything. So Gavin like finds the account again, sends it a message, is like, bro, like I'm waving the white flag. I need to surrender. You guys are too powerful, but first I must know who is it in the emo squad. And of course the account is like responds, ha 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 ha. I knew you would crumble. I knew you would fall. Kind of goes on this like, I don't know, this big old Shakespearean big like, oh, you have failed. We have won. Emo squad will reign supreme forever. And he's like, all right, like, yeah, I totally lose, guys. You're so right. But can you tell me, who did I lose to? I must know the names. And then Gavin's like, it is a soldier's honor to tell me who it is. He just made something up to make it sound like something that they had to tell him the names to be honorable or something. And the emo squad legitimately says the members of the emo squad are, and then legitimately just gives a list of names. And Gavin's like, wait, bro, you're serious? You're just gonna self-report this hard to me? Cool. I'll take it, dude. So then Gavin goes on to say, so it was you guys, the people you just listed, who, recorded me in my house and attacked me at the park and threatened me and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, yes, it was us. It is a soldier's honor to tell you who it was. And at this point, Gavin's like, bro, I just made that up, but like, thanks for believing it, dude. Like, it's just going to make my life so much easier. And he's like, wow, you guys really have won. And they're like, we have won the battle, but not the war. We shall not stop until you understand the truth of how you've disrespected the emo squad. And Gavin at this point, right, he's real careful to screen record the whole conversation, get screenshots, somehow back it up, because like you can unsend or delete Instagram DMs. You can also delete accounts or whatever. So after Gavin has gotten all the proof, he responds, lol, emo squad, such a nerd name, and then stops responding. And they say, what? I thought you surrendered. Well, we're gonna attack even harder now. You don't know what we're capable of. But apparently Emo Squad was also not aware of what Gavin was capable of, because the next day, Gavin goes to the principal and he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? The principal's like, yeah, sure, what's up? And Gavin tells the entire story of what happened, and she's like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have names of exactly who is in Emo Squad, and the principal's like, pfft. And Gavin's like, I know, but hold up, and shows her the video, tells her about everything, and then shows her the proof. And she's like, wow, like normally it's like we don't get evidence this like convincing, like good job, like actually, like normally we would have taken your stuff seriously if you just came forward with the story, but the fact that you also got them to admit with a list of names, that's pretty good. And sure enough, right, every guy that was like, or everyone who was listed on the Emo Squad account was following the account too. So it was pretty clear they didn't just list random people. And yeah, sure enough, right, Gavin goes to class, and he's sitting in class when he hears on the loudspeaker the list of names in the Emo Squad, and then followed up by, can the following names like report to the principal's office, and then the list of names in the Emo Squad. And Gavin's just sitting there like, what a coincidence. That totally wasn't me. And yeah, so sure enough, right, everyone in the Emo Squad gets like, they don't get suspended, but they get detention right after school for the next 2 weeks. And also, they're now placed on kind of thin ice, aka if they do anything against Gavin at all, they will get actually suspended. And if they do anything again, they'll get like full-on expelled. So the Emo Squad never really like messes with Gavin again, except this one time about a week later. So they'd been in like in-school detention for about a week. Gavin passes one of the emo kids, and the emo kid looks at him and hisses at him and then walks away. And Gavin's just like... I mean, what did I expect?
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.